What is up, Internet Land? Zachimus Prime, aka Zachimus Prime, here with another Transformers video review. Today, the figure I'm taking a look at is the Transformers Legacy Evolution Prime Universe Skyquake Leader Class figure. Gosh, that's a lot of words. Anyhow, yeah, Skyquake. Skyquake, this is an homage to a character from Transformers Prime who died pretty much straight away. And he actually looks pretty decent, I would say. He looks pretty decent. His robot mode is a little bit held together with a prayer, but it's not like terrible. The alt mode is really solid though, so I guess that's something great. But like I don't hate this figure by any stretch of the imagination. It's just like, you know, it's not really held together very well. You've got this part here which fits into a clip there, but like it doesn't really want to stay solid, and then you've got this section here which I can never seem to get lined up just right, at least not without extending this. And I don't think this is supposed to be extended here. I think that's supposed to be down flush, but that puts the arms out of these notches here. The arms themselves, by the arms I mean the wing struts here. The arms aren't held in by anything whatsoever. They're just, they don't tab, they don't click, they don't detent. I mean, you're like, yeah, look, butterfly joint, but like, the shoulders aren't actually connected to the shoulders. They're this other thing here. And like, it's a good looking figure, but like, it's not quite as playable, if that's a thing. But it really does look good. If you are thinking that this kind of looks like more like an homage to the Machine Wars Starscream than Transformers Prime Skyquake, you are not entirely wrong. I think that was really everybody's impression on that, especially since he strongly references that figure in both his robot mode and his vehicle mode. But I do think that we're going to get a Dreadwing, the other bro. I do think that we're going to get one of those out of this mold as well, just because it would be such a simple thing. Whether it's you know, like an online exclusive or whatnot, I don't know. But it would be such a simple remold. Like literally, all you'd really have to do is on his weapon accessory here. You can see that the barrel. And I don't think that it actually comes off. I think it's probably glued on there. But this barrel is all a separate piece from this body here. And so you just like put on like a smoother, you know, barrel. And now all of a sudden you've got the other gun. So, and then the rest of it would just be a color swap. Incredibly simple. But anyhow, yeah, that's his only accessories. He comes with this weapon here. And he can hold it, thanks to his arms not being connected to anything, he can actually hold it super well. Plug that into the back of his hand like so, and like a reverse grip. Flip out this little doohickey here. Plug that into his hand, also in like a reverse grip, and now he's got it like dual fisted, and it looks a little small. But I'm glad that they have it. It would be nice to see, like, maybe like a third-party kit would come out with like a big one. That'd be kind of fun. But it works well, and it looks fine enough, and I don't think that there's really any real issue with it. And the way it plugs into, like, the way it plugs into the alt mode, it already can't touch its landing gears, so, like, if you put a bigger one on there, like, it really wouldn't touch its landing gears, so maybe something to think about. If you are interested with his little sword weapon, and the emphasis on little, if you take this and pop this out, and then you got this thing here, and you can flip this out, and then you can plug this into a hand. Actually, you pretty much only have to plug it into this hand, because he's got this, like, if you look at this, it's got like this little, like a latch on it. This looks precisely like a missile that comes in, pushes against a spring, and a hook engages in that little slot. And that's exactly how, like, your missiles work on any of your spring-loaded missiles that they don't make anymore. But because of that thing, you can really only fit it in his left hand, and not very well at that. But you can cram it in there, and it looks like a flippin' butter knife. I mean, it's a really small sword compared to how big this figure is. Maybe it's like a short sword, but it's small and thin and whatnot. And it's molded all out of clear plastic, so you can see in here, and I've only touched this this weapon like twice since I got it. I didn't like it the first time, so I haven't played with it at all since then. This is only the second time. But like, you can see that there's like stress fractures inducing in that, in the root of that opening, and it's all shifty, and I don't like it. So yeah, he's got a gun weapon that's a little small. He's got a sword weapon that just kind of sucks. The figure itself, its body is kind of just held together with a prayer. But goddamn, it looks good. But let's talk about posability. So his head is on a ball joint. He can look up quite a bit, look down not at all. No wiggly waggly, but you do get some rotation. Get a little front and back on his neck. It's not really articulation. It's mostly just for transformation. It's entirely just for transformation. Who am I kidding? If you get his shoulders out of the way, his arms can go up, they can go down, they can go around. Big old ratchet joint here for just over the full tree pose. You do have these, you've got a hinge and a hinge and a hinge and then a ball joint here. So like, if you put his arm into like a pose, you can then take this and, you know, get it to sit fairly realistically looking, you know. And so, like, that's nice. It works out, even though they're not really connected. Like, his shoulders aren't going to do anything automatically. You have to manually position them for any pose that you're doing. But they are rather articulate, and you can get them to look good for most poses that where his arms look good. His arms, like I mentioned, have this what you can call butterfly joint if you really feel like it. He's got a bicep swivel here, double joint at the elbow for that much range. His wrist is on a swivel, plus for transformation, you can maybe get a little bit of work out of that. I don't know, it's all up to you. Waist is on a joint like so, a hinge, swivel, whatever you want to call it. Legs go forward that much, go backwards that much. They go out for the full Van Damme. You've got a thigh swivel there. His legs, his knees are technically double jointed. So you've got a single joint here. And this will bend that far. And then the other joint here will bend that far. He actually bends all the way on this, just the single joint, when he's going into his alt mode. So that might be a thing that you want to keep in mind. You can easily like move this out of the way if you aren't keen on that other joint, but it works out just fine. Toe will get a little bit of movement out of it, and you get a little bit of rocker out of it. So it is adequately posable. But yeah, like, I mean, if you were making a Transformers Prime a Transformers Legacy Prime collection. This is, I would say, is going to be one of the better ones. Bulkhead was decent. RC was iffy. But this guy is pretty good, I think. He definitely looks the part. But let's get him transformed up. So what we want to do is we want to start with all of the upper body first. We're going to crack this guy open here. Bring these out. Actually, while we've got this, we can just swing this around. This will probably solve a lot of our issues in the long run. And then we will rotate his legs 90 degrees and then fold these down that much. Now what you want to do is we can disconnect. I say disconnect, they don't actually connect anything. We can pull out these shoulders and then disconnect this waist joint. You'll see that there's a little tab that plugs into that. And that will let this go freely. We want to take this and move the head back so that this will fold over it. Make sure these shoulders are starting to face forward. This is where they're going to be for the rest of the alt mode. There we go. Plug that in like so. Extend out this nose cone. Now you want to take these arms, bring them out for the full tree pose, and then kind of bring them back. Well, actually, you want to take this and compress up this joint like so. Fold in the hands, and then we'll do the same for the other side. Compress in the joint like so and fold in the hand. And then these are going to come back, and they are going to tab into each other like that, and then fold down and fill in this gap. And then we're going to bring these wings up, and then I believe it is this way. We put his waist forward, I think. If not, I'll correct it, because you know I love nothing more than being wrong. Connect these up. You want to take his legs and fold them down like so. Now you want to fold them. I did fold it the wrong way. Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, like that. And then you want to fold them forwards. Take this, disconnect that. There's a tab here. You want to disconnect that. Bring this little tab here around till it plugs into that guy right there. And then what you want to do is bring this leg around like so. Rotate this like so, and then bring this down just at this lower knee joint till it's like that. And then this tab will line up with that slot. And there's a leg all done. And do the same for the other side. So bring this all the way up and around. Rotate this at the hip. Open up this guy here. Bring this around so that that tab goes into that peg. Bend this at just the lower knee joint. That tab will go into that slot there. And there you have him in his, whoops, one last thing. Bring these down and in, and they will just seat themselves. Whoops, seat themselves right in here. Like so. But yeah, there he is in his vehicle mode, and he looks really good. I mean, he doesn't look aerodynamic at all, But he's got this sort of chunky space plane thing going on, which I can, I can get behind that. That's kind of snazzy looking. He's got, in terms of action features, you can open up his cockpit. You can open this up, I swear. There we go. There's 2 seats in there. You can flip out his landing gears. He's got 3 landing gears on him. No separate tires or whatnot. It won't roll or anything like that. I mean, you can slide it on any reasonably smooth surface. He'll park just fine. You can take his weapon here and plug it into this port right there, and it'll just tuck into this little V-shaped channel on the underside. And once it does so, well, actually that one kind of barely fits on that tire. I don't know what I did differently this time that I didn't do the last couple times, but he sits there and he's got a gun underneath it. So that's all swankiness. Swanky. He does have another thing where if you have a needle nose, I don't know what correlation needle nose and Transformers Prime Skyquake have in common, but you can take the needle nose and mount it onto these little tabs here. I don't have a needle nose. He didn't look all that interesting to me. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comments, and I'll try and pick one up and tell you guys whether or not this is the awesomest thing in the world or if it just sucks. I suspect, however, that it will just suck. Be an uninspired combination. But yeah, that's all I got for this guy. Fairly good alt mode. Like I said, robot mode's a little iffy, but sure looks really nice. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got for today. Thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Everybody stay awesome and be good to each other. See ya. Bye.